This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
St. Johnny.
and Mike D. And I got to change it down to the bottom to St. Johnny.
Actually, I messed that up. I meant to say Sister and Johnny.
Sister.
If we were out
yeah, we're
the other
talking-
day,
yeah.
he's like, "You look, what are you, a nun? With your hood up and your little." I said, "Well, let me whip my rosary beads out," and yeah.
Johnny, a.k.a. Sister Soul Cutest. We're back once again. Let's sit down and
It's been a minute.
have a little chit-chat with you.
It's been a little minute.
So this is Happy New Year, bro.
Yeah, Happy New Year. How were your holidays?
Good. We just took a little trip down to Virginia. I sat in with the barrel-aged boys at their table, which is always fun for me.
I'm so glad that you get out and do that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
Well, plus I love sitting with those guys. It's a great time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to plug them real quick. Check out Barrel Age Flicks, any place you listen to podcasts, and also on YouTube. And if you want to see the shows that I'm on, which I'm sure you do, you check out their From Dusk Till Dawn episode. You could check out their top 5 most anticipated movies for 2025, and check out their upcoming Big Lebowski episode.
Yes.
So Big Lebowski.
Big blah blah.
Yeah, the Big Blah. The Big Lebowski has always been a favorite of mine. So
Which I have still never watched.
how can you have never seen the Big Lebowski?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a movie that everybody likes. I happen to really enjoy it. And as always with what I do with this show, I do research and I find obscure trivia facts about the movie, and that's what I take down and contribute to their show. So,
And I got to give it to you, man. You really do your research.
I like
Because
knowing
that last topic I gave to this guy, he's like, "Wow, which one did you mean? There's like 50 of them." I'm like,
Well,
"Oh no."
let's talk about it for a second. We won't go through the whole thing, but it's an upcoming topic we're going to do, and we're going to
You want to do that?
we're
Think it's
going
a
to
good one.
we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to talk about the. Usually, I do my lockup series alone. However, we're going to step out of that comfort zone, and Johnny and I are going to touch on the glass house or glass houses of Great Britain, which is their military prison system.
Yeah.
Penal.
Paninis Colony.
The Paninis Colony.
Yeah. So I just shot it to him, and I was like, I don't know if this is up your alley because it's not a traditional. Oops, my shocks went off there. It's not like a traditional you're locked in prison setting. It's a lot different than that.
Yeah, and basically, I really want to touch on the first glass house, which goes back
I'd love to know about that.
which goes back to the 1800s. So look for that one. That one's coming up. I found it very interesting. It's not going to be a long one.
No, it's short. And then what did you tell him? Like basically, the glass house is a.
No, we're not getting into it.
All right, delete that part out.
Nope, not deleting it.
Okay.
We'll let him on the cliffhanger. Got him on the hook. Got him on the hook.
Wani, jump ahead. Hit the button. No, the other one. You. The yum 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 yum.
This one. So what was the other topic you gave me that's upcoming for us?
For
the Devil's Island.
Devil's Island.
That one I also found interesting,
Dude.
So that's
you ever
all.
watch the movie Papillon?
Dude, you cannot be ruining shit.
How did that ruin it?
Because that movie is specifically about a certain person who was locked up on Devil's Island.
Well, so what?
Well, now all they got to do is look up Papillon, and you just blew the whole fucking story.
Yeah, but the three of the guys that listen to this?
Yes. All three of them are saying, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's common knowledge.
So, the movie Papillon with Steve McQueen. And
was he in that?
Yeah. It was Steve McQueen and...
I want to read the book.
Who was the other dude that was in it?
I don't know. I never saw the movie.
How did you bring it up? You dick. You're such a dick.
I know. I think I have. I don't remember all of it. And it's been a long time since
the other guy that was in the movie, I wouldn't have thought he'd be in that kind of movie, but he was.
The Rock.
No, nowhere even close. This is an older movie. Anyway, so Devil's Island's coming up too. And so those would be two kind of lockup episodes that won't be the typical lockup episode.
Yeah, I mean,
because I haven't done one since I think November or October.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've done one.
We kind of,
but I feel like I should sit on at least one of these with you because we're boys and we work at the same place,
right?
So
right.
We've been kind of exposed to this kind of shit.
It'll be done much different because there'll be two of us and we'll be discussing stuff. So
yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go.
Well, it'll go how it goes. We'll do our thing.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, whatever. We'll just ride.
And our three fans will either like it or turn us off.
Yo, you know what's funny is the other day, I was doing some work and a friend of mine, he's like, hey man, he's like, I was searching through YouTube and I was looking at the shorts and he's like, I'm listening to it. I guess he was like working and listening to it. And he goes, is that Johnny? Sounds like Johnny's voice. And I looked at, and that shit, it was you. And I was like, shit. I'm like, I made it big time.
Yeah. People recognize my voice.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of weird. It's cool that, that we can be in that algorithm. I don't understand how that works, but it's fun.
So, what else has been going on? I made it down to Virginia. We spent a couple days down there. I'm going to tell you something, Virginia. You guys are so afraid of snow. It's not funny.
Oh my God! Like how? I don't understand it.
They got snow down there, and everything was shut down because while we were down there, we were going to do some historical stuff because we're in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, you said.
And
that place is like rife with like historical.
Oh yeah, a lot, and everything was shut down. Everything was closed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. And everyone's always
because they get like half an inch of snow.
Well, they had gotten a couple 6 or 8 inches on Monday of that week, but by the time we got down there, it was nothing. It was like an inch maybe still on the ground, and then on Saturday night they got snow, and it was like an inch. To us, that's a dusting. That's
it. I think they're more worried about the ice.
I don't know.
Dude, ice is. Well, you remember that it was like 2-3 years ago down in, I think it was Virginia, on the highway. You just saw like the street cam or the highway cam, and it was like just car after car just slamming into one another.
The difference,
there was a huge backup. And there were like people were stranded out on the highway for like 2-3 days
for 2 inches of snow.
Yeah, in Virginia.
Like when we get 2 feet of snow, there's people stranded on the highway.
Yeah, but there's nobody goes out on the highway.
I remember people stranded on 78.
You like, get out of the way, loser! I gotta go to work. I'm on the clock.
But the difference is we're more prepared for snow because we get it more often.
Because we're Pennsylvanians, man. We're hardcore. Freaking half our forefathers fought in the Revolutionary War. Well,
theirs did too, and the Civil War, just on the wrong side.
I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I just feel like if you notice, I have family in Colorado, as you know, and they're like, yeah, some of these Colorado, how do you call them? Coloradians?
I can't say it on the air because it's.
Yeah, I get you. But they're like, a lot of these are like fake cowboys. And they're like, we know mountain men from the East that would walk all over these survivalist mountain boys or whatever, or cowboys. And I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, well, that's where we started from, the East, and we moved west.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Might not get a ton of snow here, but the winters suck. They're cold.
Well, the problem with Pennsylvania is you can have snow in the morning, rain in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and 70 degrees in the evening.
Yeah, it's weird. We got the mountains, you know, they're not very tall mountains, but they're enough to cause a disturbance in the force.
Appalachia.
I'm sorry, I keep shaking this fucking camera.
You know, you were talking about...
Is that gonna fuck up the recording of that?
What?
My knee was sitting on here and I bounced my knee and it was shaking.
Yeah, but just don't do that anymore.
All right. Well, I was doing it for like the first
We'll just say it was an earthquake.
All right. It goes from freezing to earthquake to 70.
These things, you were talking about the spring.
Yeah.
Keep it in the spring. I like the ones that Barrel Age Flicks has. They have the road ones and there's no springs. It's all enclosed.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay for what we do, but they get caught sometimes and they make that.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah. So
don't do that again.
Yeah. It's, but it serves its purpose.
So what are we here today for?
We are here today to talk about some good old American ingenuity.
What the hell did I write that up there for?
I don't know.
Oh, I know why. It's a movie I want to watch.
Oh, okay.
It's a horror movie. So I'm going to read.
It's a horror movie?
I'm going to read what's on the 1980s horror movie. I just put it on here so I wouldn't forget.
Do I even want to know?
It's called Fade to Black. It's supposedly like one of the scary horror movies of the 80s. I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
And this relates to this story?
Nothing at all. It's just that I was doing this research when I...
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so what we're talking about today is petroleum jelly and the inventor of it, specifically the guy who invented the trademark name Vaseline. So Vaseline is used for many, many, many things.
Many, many things.
Including to the relief of virgins everywhere.
Oh, you naughty little boy.
Naughty. Actually, it's not recommended for internal use.
It is not. It can cause some serious problems. So
I take that back. And plus, I'm not a doctor.
Or did they say that because
they did?
That's almost like
well, back when it was invented, they didn't say that.
It's almost like when you go to like a lot of hunters will post no hunting private property when it's not private property, just to keep other hunters off.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So it's a long-winded like comparison, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Vaseline has been to the North Pole.
No shit.
They used to rub it on chickens to keep them warm during the winter. What else did I have?
Who would be the chicken rubber? So
you.
Here, little chicken, come here.
What else did they do? I forget what was on that list.
Was he like Bucktooth and like,
hey, come here, chicken.
I'm done with my sister. It's your turn.
I have a little bit of Vaseline left.
I forget what you said. It was, yeah. You didn't write that down? Shame. Tisk.
I thought I did.
Well, we'll get into it if it is. I'm sure we'll think of something. Anything that needs to be rubbed, Vaseline.
So the name Vaseline comes from a combination of a German word and a Greek word. The German word for water.
I thought this was very interesting.
Which is Wasser.
Wasser.
And the Greek word for oil, which I'm going to butcher it, but it was ilion.
Ilium.
Um,
And if you put the two together,
and the INE was added as to make it seem like a medical product. If you put them together, it's Vaseline.
oh, what if it was gasoline? He's like, this product sucks. He's like, it burns everything.
The inventor
Oh, sorry, my nose.
was he was like a lamp oil salesman. The lamp oil that they made from whales, sperm whales.
Blubber.
They would there was an extract in sperm whales in their heads that they would specifically make lamp oil from, which at that time, almost all lighting was lamp oil. So this is back in 1837.
God, could you imagine that? Like having to carry around like a melted cauldron of whale oil.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder what it smelled like.
It probably didn't smell like anything.
I mean, what's for dinner?
Hey, is that bacon? No, it's a dead sperm whale I found out at the dump.
So he was a self-taught chemist. His name was Robert.
I know a couple of them.
Robert Augustus Chesebrough.
Chesebrough.
No, Chesebrough.
Is it chess?
Chesebrough.
No, it's cheese.
No, it's Chesebrough.
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 He also he made chess pieces out of cheese.
Yes. Chess cheeser. He was an American. He was born in London, January 9th, 1837 to American
How does that
parents.
make you an American born? That's what I heard. They said he was an American.
English born American.
English born American.
So he was born in England, but he had American parents. So after he was born.
That still makes you English.
No.
You're born in England, you're English.
You have American parents, you're American.
Marca.
You're Marca.
So he had a screaming eagle tattoo over his shoulders.
When he came out of the womb, he had that. So he was born there. He was raised in New York City.
Ew.
So he began his career as a chemist, making the lamp oil.
Another. I live in New York City. Don't you make fun of me.
Oh yeah. Speaking of don't make fun of me, I'm not gonna get into it. Making the sperm oil, lamp oil from an extracted oil from the sperm whale's head.
Which head?
Brain.
Okay.
The development of coal oil and the rise in petroleum from Titusville, Pennsylvania. What? Pennsylvania?
Did you look up where Titusville is?
It's Western PA.
Is it
Northwestern PA?
Northwestern PA?
I don't know.
I would figure it would be like right where the coal vein is, right towards us.
It's probably on the New York border. Since
I think that's what they did say it was. It was on the New York.
Let's pause for a moment.
Pause.
To look at maps.
You want to pause for a minute?
Well, it's just north of Oil City. Oh, it's up near Erie.
Oh, that is way west. So what is Pennsylvania? Just like a gigantic.
It's between Pittsburgh and Erie. So there was a huge oil boom in Titusville area of Pennsylvania. It was rendering his job obsolete. So like basically they're going to stop using this whale oil. Hunting whales was going out of vogue. And he was 22 at this point. This is 1859. So he's getting kicked out of a job. He's like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do? So he was going to bet all of his whole life on doing something with oil.
Right.
So he took his life savings and bought a ticket from New York City to Titusville, Pennsylvania to meet with some oil barons there. So I want to meet the oil barons.
Yeah, Jay. Care for some caviar and some whiskey? Yeah.
Pork chops and applesauce.
What? Pork chops and applesauce?
It's from Brady Bunch.
I don't remember that. Pork chop, snapper, snap.
So he went there and he toured the oil fields, and he saw one of the riggers scraping this dark, thick goo paste off of the oil pump joint, and he's like, "Hey, dude, what the hell is that shit?" And he saw them like some of the guys were rubbing it on their hands. And they explained to him it was this troublesome wax like gunk that came up with the crude oil that would stick to the rigging. If they didn't scrape it off, it would cause the derrick to fail. The rigging, it would cause the rigging to fail because it would clump up and clump up. So basically, to them, it was junk. So it would cause stoppages and all kinds of problems if they didn't take care of it properly. And he explained, well, why are they rubbing it on their hands? And he said, well, if we get cuts on our hands, you kind of rub that on, and the cuts kind of heal faster. And he's like, really? Cha-ching!
Yeah.
He sees money signs, so he says, hey, can I get
opportunity?
Can I get a couple samples of that? And they said, here, take buckets full of it. And they were laughing at him. Like, he's gonna take this worthless crap.
Idiot taking this fucking basically, shit that we probably got to dump somewhere. Or nowadays you'd probably have to pay to get rid of it.
Or they probably just dumped it in a river back then. So he knew, because it was worthless, that if he could come up with something with this, he could make large margins off it, because they were just tossing it away. So he took the next 10 years and he perfected to make it colorless, odorless gel that we know today.
I wonder what it originally smelled like coming out of the oil derrick.
It probably smelled it like crude oil. Smelled it.
What does crude oil smell like?
It's nasty.
Is it?
Did you ever go down to the steam plant when they're filling the 6 oil down there? Or the 6 oil? No. Well, that's what it smells like.
It just smell like rot and decay. That's basically what it is.
Just like it smells like kind of like very thick diesel oil. So at that time, towards the end of the 19th century, the only such oils that were available were either rank or they were prone to spoil and become rank in short order. You had lard, you had goose grease, you had olive oil.
Goose grease?
Yeah. You had garlic oil, and you had something called mustard plaster.
Jeez.
What's mustard plaster, you ask? I'm glad you asked, John.
Plaster of mustard?
Because I looked it up.
My boy.
So what they would do is they would take this extract from mustard seeds and they'd put it on a bandage, and they would cover wounds with that.
Jesus. I usually cover my pretzels with it.
Yeah. I usually put it on my hot dog, but
yeah. Turns out I spilled some of my cuts in my hands and it worked just as well.
So they would make some kind of salve with it and put it on, and it didn't work particularly well, but they used it.
Oh, it's supposed to burn that bad. Yeah, you'll be all right.
Stop being a cry sacker.
Yeah.
So Robert was determined to succeed. So he was so determined. You told me this.
Yeah. Well, then you one up me on this then too. Go ahead.
You want to tell this part?
No, go.
So he was so determined to succeed that he would stab himself, cut himself.
Oh, that I didn't even stab himself?
Yes. He would drip acid on himself.
Jesus.
And then he would apply this salve to it to show how well it worked. And what he would do is he would do that on the roadside.
Yeah.
Or when he was trying to go sell it, he would do that. And then he would show them his other hand where he did it the other day. Yeah. And he would show how well it was healed. And he would go to all these pharmacies. He goes, look, I did this. And he'd stab or cut himself. I did this the other day, and look, how well it is.
Yeah.
And they all the pharmacists said, no, fuck you, get out. Snake oil. We don't want it. So instead of going to the pharmacies because they were uninterested, he would he just took to the road. He started doing roadside demonstrations.
Took his wagon and his horse.
Yeah. So he would
I'll show them.
he would do this on the road.
Stab myself to death, make sure this brings me back to life.
He would do this on the roadside. He'd stab himself, cut himself, drip ass.
He's like,
And
watch this one.
I just put some Wonder Salve on
He
it.
just dies.
I'm alive.
He just kills himself.
That's fucked up.
He's like, can't even put the salve on his neck.
So, and then what he would do, which this is the first time this is known to have happened, he would give away his product.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
This is the first time that it's known to have happened where someone would give away their product and then he'd leave town.
So they're wanting more.
They're wanting more now because it's working for them.
Where's that Vaseline guy? You seen that Vaseline guy?
I need my. They would go to the pharmacy and all these people are coming to the pharmacy. Hey, I need more of this. And they would say, well, we don't sell it.
Why is this not a thing?
But
you know what I mean?
But we can get it in. So orders started rolling in then from the pharmacies because everybody wanted it. Because the pharmacy didn't give them.
Hey, listen, you got a back order of like $20. That's like the whole town. Whatever $20 would be. I don't know, whatever that'd be back then.
Yeah.
Probably like $1 million these days.
So
old lonely crazy McGruber lady wants a jar of your Vaseline oil. I don't know what for.
The pharmacy didn't care if it worked. All they knew is people wanted it.
Right. Oh, so that's when they wanted to start selling.
That's when they started selling.
Fucking goobers.
Plus, people were seeing results. So now I'm going to Mikey jump ahead for a second.
Whoa. Oh.
Oh.
Pew, 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 pew. Mikey jump ahead. First time ever.
It was later proven it had no medicinal value at all.
Right.
But what it would do is if you had a cut on your, like you're talking the late 1800s now, where infection killed a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you had cuts on your hand and you rubbed this stuff on, it would cover the cut and protect it. So you weren't getting bacteria you wouldn't be prone to infection then.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? It blocks the it keeps it. Ow! I just bit my tongue. Son of a bit.
So, all said and done, it would help with preventing infection. So it did help medically, but not the way he thought it did, or anybody thought it did at that time.
Right. I don't think they really.
But
no shit back then.
Right.
The germs and all that stuff.
Nobody knew that at this point.
Yeah.
So the orders are coming in droves now because
now if he took a pair of scissors and like cut his finger off, rub some Vaseline on it, and that shit grew back,
that'd be amazing.
Be like, yeah, watch this.
I don't think it works like that. I did mention that was the first known advertising strategy to give away a product to encourage future purchases.
So he's a pretty savvy businessman.
Oh, so
I mean, he's getting it in. He's going horseback, cutting himself.
By 1874, he was selling 1,400 jars of Vaseline a day.
Wow.
Which back then, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So in 1870, Chesebrough opened his first factory. The first reference to the name Vaseline was in his U.S. patent. Quote, I, Robert Chesebrough, have invented a new and useful product from petroleum, which I have named Vaseline. So he patented the process of making petroleum jelly in 1872.
I would really like to see how this shit, it's probably like a secret.
I don't know.
But
other people are making it now, so it can't be that secret.
I'd like to see how this process is done. Turns out it's like bad. They're just like shooting baby whales in the head, like one at a time, and like extracting their blubber out of their face. It's like, oh God, what?
By 1875, Robert founded the Chesebrough Manufacturing Company, which is the company who was on the original packaging for Vaseline. I'm gonna see if I can find that because I found a picture of a little Vaseline jar.
I wish they would
That
make
said
that little
Chesebrough.
jar again, that little tin.
That's what I found.
I just think, but like, I wish they would make the little tin.
I think they still do.
I think that's so cool. It's like everything's plastic nowadays, and it's like plastic. You fucking winds up in the ocean. We drink it. We eat it. It's in our food.
Stop eating turtles, and you won't need it anymore.
Yeah. Every time you use a plastic bag from the grocery store, a turtle dies.
So here's the note. While the first success for Vaseline came as medicine, it was later proven to have no curative power whatsoever. The only advantage was that it kept grime and bacteria out of injuries, which that in itself was a huge deal at the time.
Right. Well, absolutely. Well, I mean, did they know that? Did they even know, like, was bacteria a word or term?
No. I don't think it was. I don't know when they found bacteria.
Because World War I, when they discovered that basically penicillin was mold, and it like was not an antibacterial, it was a antibiotic. So I think this was before then, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
So Chesebrough didn't get that memo that it wasn't a cure because he came down with pleurisy.
What the hell is that?
Okay, I knew you were going to ask, and
oh, you fucker!
I thought, Johnny's going to ask what pleurisy is, and I'm not exactly sure. I knew it had something to do with the lungs.
He just couldn't stop saying things in plural.
Yeah, he said he put S's on everything.
It's Vaseline's.
So, like the Canadians. Pleurisy is an inflammation of the lining of your lungs, pleura, which causes sharp chest pains. Chest pains usually worsen when you breathe or cough. There's more to it. It can cause fluid on the lungs, similar to pneumonia.
Ammonia.
So Robert drenched himself from head to toe with Vaseline, and he soon recovered.
From pneumonia?
From pleurisy.
Pleurisy.
Shortly before his death, it was revealed, and this is disputed. So I'm just going to put that out there. But before his death, it was revealed that he had been eating a spoonful a day for several years of Vaseline.
That's great. I wonder what brought him to do that. Like, what made him think that, like, maybe this jelly from whatever the fuck he made it from was like, it's gonna cure my my lung disease.
Yeah.
Was he smoking it? Like,
he was eating it. It displaces water, so maybe.
You just eat it and like the water boils off in your lungs?
I don't know. He passed away in 1933 at his home at age 96 at Spring Lake, New Jersey. So there's a writer who wrote about Chesebrough and how he sold this product. They say he, quote, said he peddled the product with the zeal of an evangelist.
Now that I could see.
He used
release the demons, slather myself. Oh!
He demonstrated the effectiveness of Vaseline as an epidermic cure-all by holding his hand over an open flame. Then extolled its virtues and tried not to faint while applying Vaseline. Presumably the wounds would heal by the next roadshow.
See, now that is funny because you ever read on like the Neosporin whatever healing cream. And if you get a burn,
Don't put that shit on it.
Put Vaseline on it.
Don't rub butter. Back then, they would rub butter on it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, and I heard a thing too that during the World War II or Korean War, when guys got really bad, severe burns, they would get hot coconut oil and they would rub it on their burns, and it like went away. So I'm wondering, do these companies are like shit talking Vaseline so that you don't use it? You know what I mean? Like, hey, don't use that product. It's bad.
It's bad for you.
Bad. Definitely don't eat it. You want to get constipated every now and then. It's natural.
I think I also read someplace, I could be wrong on this because I read a lot about this, that at one point while he was still alive, they were selling a jar every second.
Wow.
While he was still alive.
I mean, I love the product. I use it all the time. And I think more people should. I really do.
Well, I know if you're going to be out in the cold, if you rub it on your cheeks.
I did that the other day.
It can keep you from getting frostbite, or it could prolong.
I just go up a hike Mount Everest with just slippery smooth and Vaseline. I'm like, I ain't going to get frostbite. Trust me.
Like the guy in the Cheez-It commercial.
Yeah, we're good. Just take me to the top, Sherpa.
So that's the story of the history of Vaseline.
It's great.
It seems like a stupid topic, but you know what? I found it interesting.
Well, once you told me about how he got slippery smooth, I was like, all right, this guy's fucking cool. Like, well, that's why I ran it by you, and I'm like, what do you think about this topic? And I think at first I was like, man, Vaseline. Yeah, you were not interested in it at all.
And then I started reading on it. I'm like, okay.
But I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about like a lot of American ingenuity or doesn't have to be American, but like people who come up with a product and you don't know what they had to do to like push that shit and sell it. And
I kind of like when How It's Made is on, or on the Pennsylvania network where they show the factories in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I love watching that shit.
Yeah, it's cool as shit.
I love the science of stuff.
And then plus also,
which is why I like making beer.
He has that connection with Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Which
is kind of cool because that's where we live. So, I mean, Pennsylvania played a big role in,
Let me see if I can show you Titusville on this map.
Let me see if I can pour another beer.
Titusville is Oil City. It's here, Titusville, right here. You're not looking.
Well, I don't want to spill the beer.
Oh, right there. Oh, Titusville. So there's Erie, and Pittsburgh is.
Well, Pittsburgh was down here somewhere.
There's Pittsburgh right here. There's Erie. Titusville's right here.
So they can go right up to the.
And here's Oil City.
The Great Lakes or the Erie Canal. Ship that out to anywhere.
Titusville's right here. This is the Allegheny River. So you could ship it down. Allegheny goes all the way down.
Yeah, you got access to the Great Lakes, Erie Canal, Pittsburgh, everywhere.
So that's that, dude.
Yeah, Chesebrough. Oh, yeah, pull that in a little closer. Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah. That was interesting. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, by the way, it's cold outside.
It is cold.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What's so funny?
Nothing at all. Oh, they also used Vaseline as a makeup remover.
Really?
I don't know how. I don't wear makeup. How do you get your makeup off?
Vaseline. Now, won't use those harsh chemicals anymore.
Your skin's getting older. Can't take that harsh abuse.
Can't take that lack of moisture.
I mean, I was just wondering how when you go out and drag, if you get your makeup off.
You know, I might want to just go home and get slippery smooth
On rubber sheets. Anyhow, so we took on Robert Chesebrough, the inventor and maker of Vaseline. Now you go take on the world.
One last thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Nah, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say, isn't that what they put in like when a boxer gets the cuts?
Yeah.
And it like plugs up a leaker.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need tourniquets. You just slather Vaseline off a blown off leg. Good to go.
Get back to work. Now you go take on the world.
Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill. You want to be my wife?
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.